Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course I hope everyone has an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny and I'm doing this all about Christmas channel. On this channel you will find lots and lots of seasonal decor DIYs and daily decor DIYs. If you like this content and you're not subscribed to my channel, of course I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow and it doesn't cost you anything. So for now, of course, let's jump into our new inspiration for today. And here you see what we will use for this DIY. Of course, we need our tumbler tile blocks. You can use some paint or some wax at your choice. I use my wood glue, but you can use hot glue. You can use any glue you like. Of course, I have my little container with some cutting tools, some brushes, some markers, some scissors, and these are the main pieces we need for this DIY. What I'm going to do, I'm going to make a couple of lanterns, but of course with a twist, so we will see how this will turn out. So the first lantern, what we're going to do is, of course, we're going to get 3 blocks this way and we are going to glue them together just like a bottom, and this way, and on this one. And number 3 will be the closure up, and squeeze it and press it together this way. And we are going to removing our glue we don't need this way, and then make a nice straight line again because we want to have it straight. And I already see that my placemat is coming, you see, he's coming on top, and that's not what we want, because or else our piece is not gluing in the right way. So I'm going to place it over here. What we're going to do, we're going to get 2 blocks, and again this way, this way, and this way, and this way we're going to glue it. So we are going to do some glue on this side, on this side, on this side, and on this side. And then we're going to make sure that we glue everything together this way and this way. And if you have a metal hook, you can use it. If you like that, please go ahead, use it. I don't use it, but you can do, of course, if you like this better than the way I do it in out of hand, you can use your metal hook to make sure that everything stays in place. I'm so used to doing it this way. I have one laying in my garage, but I am never going to use it. I don't know why, but I don't find it handy, but a lot of people work with it. So this is already number 1, and I'm going to make a second one. Also very easy. And again, some glue on this side, on this side, and on this side. You see already, I'm just really messing with my glue. So don't do the way I do it. Just do it the way you want. And this is, and I'm going to glue it together. Squeeze a little inside, and then we're going to squeeze it. And we're going to let this dry for a couple of minutes. So now we give it a couple of minutes to dry up. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get 4 blocks this way, and I'm going to give on the underside a little glue, just a little. I'm gluing it on this side. I'm doing a little glue over here, and I'm going to glue it with a little space in between. And of course you still can redo it if you're not satisfied with the space. And this one, again, a little glue, and we're going to do it on this side. Squeeze it, and we have to have the same space in between, and this way. And we're going to let this dry in also for a couple of minutes. Of course, we are going to do the same on this side. We're going to again 4 blocks this way, and we're going to glue this part over here. We're going to do this one over here, and we are filling up the gaps over here, and this one, and of course, and this way. And I'm going to redo it and squeeze this one also on top of here in a straight line, because we, and this way, you see, now we have the openings, and I see this one is a little bit crooked. If I am looking correctly, I'm going to get my old piece of kitchen towel, which is always wet, and I can wipe away very easy the glue. And I'm going to let this dry also a couple of minutes. This little part is for the people who uses the smaller blocks. This is drying, this is the bigger blocks. Here are the same with the smaller blocks. So if you like a lantern which is a little bit smaller and you can place it in a tray, then I would go for the same measurement like I did, just one and one in here, and of course on here, and then glue them together this way. Then you get the same like this one, and the bottom will be 3 this way. But if you want to size up, then you want to have it bigger, then I would go for 6, and again 6 pieces, and then glue them together until one bottom. Then I would place an extra block over here, because later we're going to glue it together. We are going to do 1 extra over here and 1 extra over here. So we get them a little bit wider, and then of course you also have to size up with this one. You have the one in the middle, and you have to do a couple of extra over here. And you can do as much as you like. You can always go this way. And this is if you want to size it up, then you need 6, 6, glue it together until the bottom. Then you have 1 over here, 2, 2, and then here of course 6 blocks also. So then it will be bigger. And you do this 2 times, because this is the front side and the back side you also need. For the side panels we are going to do something different. We are going to do loose blocks. But if you want to, like I said, if you want to size it up, then you need this. If you want to have it smaller, you can do exactly the numbers I do with the bigger blocks, only your lantern will be smaller. So we are going to let this dry, and we are going to build again 2, 2 on this side. And even like I said, with the smaller blocks you do the same, you're just repeating it, the one you used. I'm going to do some glue on this side. Of course you can also do it on the tops like I did earlier, and I'm going to do it on this side a little bit and on this side. And we're going to again place it over here, and closing it up with this one. And again squeeze it and press it down until one straight line. And we're going to make another one for the other side. So we need 2 again of this one. Very easy. And this and this. Of course we can make it over here. I'm going to do some glue, a drop here, a little drop over here. I'm going to place it against, and this one also. And now we only need a little drop on this both sides over here. And this is so easy to make, so you can easily make your own lantern. And even when you never did something with the tumbling towel blocks, this one is so easy to make. And this, squeeze it, and we're going to let this dry in, and we're moving away the glue we don't need over here. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes. So now I'm going to take one of the sides, and I'm going to glue a little bit of glue on here, on this top, on this top, a little bit over here, and a little bit over here. And then we're going to glue this one also together, very easy. Give it a little bit of pressure, not too much. And so everything sticks together. So we already have almost one side, and we're going to let this rest also. And we're going to do with this one the same. We're going to, of course, you also can do it a little bit easier than what I just told you. You just do a little glue on the tops. It's also very fast to work with, so you can do also this way. And we're going to place it down, and we're going to go over here, and we're going to place this one also on top of each other. Squeeze it, and we're going to let this rest also. Now we're going to get our bottom, and we're going to do some glue on this side and on the other side. And if you have the smaller blocks, you do the same. You can have the 3 blocks, or you have the the 6 blocks, and also then you do not 1 block against it the way I do it, but you do 2. So for the 3 blocks, if you use the smaller blocks, you do a 1, and if you use the bigger ones of the wider ones of the lantern, then you do the 2 blocks. That's not 1, but you do and again another one next to it. But I think that's of course very obvious if you see it. So because when I explain it, it's not always the easiest way in English. So, but of course you know what I mean. So it's very easy to show you. You have your 3 blocks, and I know people who use the big blocks are not really interested always in the smaller blocks, but then you do just like me 1. But if you double it up with the 6 ones of it this way, and then again more, then you need of course 2 blocks this way. And you have here again 3 and here 3, and then you can also do 2 over here. So very easy. But we are only going to do it on the 1 blocks. So this is how it's looking like when he's tried. This is the bottom. What I'm going to do on one side, I'm going to do some glue over here on the line and over here a little, and we're going to place it aside, so this way, and we're going to do it exactly in the middle. Squeeze a little and make sure that you have a straight line, and this way. And I'm going to let it dry in for a couple of minutes. I always have my small brush with me, and I'm just going around and removing the glue, because you don't like big pieces of glue sticking out. So take just an old brush and just go around the lines very carefully. You don't have to give it pressure. You just go around it until everything is cleaned up, and this way. And now we're going to let it rest again a couple of minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it this way so you can see it also on the side. I'm going to get loose blocks, and I'm going to glue not in the middle piece of this block and the ending of this block in the same line like you did with the other one. So very easy, just do a little glue and going to place it in the same line over here. And we're going to do again over here and then in the middle. And you can choose where you want to have it, of course. I'm going to place it over here, but you can choose any place you like. I'm going to do over here and again on the same side like we did with this block, and again in a straight line. And we're going to do the last one, and this will be over here, and just place it and make sure that the top is in the same length. That's always then even you have the top very high end looking, because if you want to have it a little bit crooked, you don't like that. So we are going to make sure that everything, take your time for it. And I see already this block is totally offline. If I look at it, you can even see it if I am correct. You see, he is totally offline. So I need another block for this one. Sometimes in every package there's a couple of blocks which are not totally straight. So again, take another block and use the other blocks for another project. And of course we're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to do also the same on this side. So I'm going to turn it over, and you see it already, it's in a straight line as best as I can. I'm going to do this one, and I'm going to do on this side the same. Of course we are going to do them against each other. If there's a correct word, against each other, I think it doesn't sound but at least in the same direction than the other blocks. Maybe that's a better word. And I'm going to place them over here, and I'm going to do, but if you don't like this pattern, of course do any pattern you like, because you don't have to do it the way I just show you how easy it is to make your own simple lantern, and everyone can make this one. So I'm going to place this one also over here, And how nice is it in this kind of season to have a nice lantern. And again, we're going to place this one over here in a straight line. And we're going to let this dry also. And don't forget to get your brush. And if you have a couple of minutes waited, then again go around and remove the glue you don't need. And you see, I did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. This is how it's looking like right now. You see, over here. Now I'm going to do some glue again on each and every top over here. We're going to do it this way, and we do a little on each block and a little over here. And take your time for it, because sometimes I want too fast and I mess a lot with my glue, and that's not what you want. So again, and here's also a little bit more. And what we're going to do, we're going to get the other part, this part, and we're going to place it on top. And we have to be sure that we have it. Of course, I'm going to turn it so I can look exactly where I want to have it. Over here. And this way. And now I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure. Not too much, but a little. And we're going to let this dry. So in the meantime, while this is drying, and this is also the same way you do it with your smaller blocks, so that is not, nothing is different about this one. We're going to get 4 blocks, and what we're going to do, we're going to make a square. We're going to do some glue on this one. We're going to glue this together. We're going to do some glue on this side, over here. We're going to place this one over here. And now we're going to do on this one for the top and one for the side. So a little bit glue over here, and we're going to do on this side. Very easy. And we're going to place it inside, and so we get a nice square. Give it a little bit of pressure this way, and rebuild it again, or redo it again. And we're going to give it over here, and we're going to let this dry in. And for everyone who uses the smaller blocks, of course, this kind of square, you also make the same like I did with if you make the smaller lantern, then you have this one. If you have the bigger one, of course, you have to double it up. And then if everything is correctly, let me know, because I didn't make this one, of course, with the 2 blocks. But if everything is correctly, you are having then the 2 blocks this way. If you have the bigger one, if you have the smaller one, you do the same like I do over here. And I'm going to make I would choose for 1 block. You can double it up, but I think then the border will be very big. So maybe it's also, if that's your privilege, just go ahead. And I'm not going to make 1 of them, but make 2 of them. I'm also going to make again another one from this one. So here you see already, this is how one of the bigger blocks turned out. It's the same. And now I'm going to make again another one. Very easy. Just do some glue again on the sides. But a lot of you who are already here for a long time know already how to make the squares. But for everyone who is new here, of course, and you are like an easy DIY, then this is one of the most used pieces. I have to look for this. Looks like really offline, but we're going to look for if this is correctly or not. And we're going to place it in, and again, give it a little bit remodeling, and then some pressure. And this way. And again, now we have 2. And we're going to let this dry also again. And you see, I placed my lantern on top. This is already how he's looking like. And I think he looks very cute. Of course, you can do some battery operated lights in it. You can do some tea lights inside. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take one of the squares, and I'm going to do some glue on the underside, and I'm going to glue it on top of here. So be very careful. I think I'm going to try to get it a little on the lines and a little less than I normally would do. Over here, and a little bit smaller, and over here. This is really precisely work, and that's not not my thing. So I'm going to place it on top of here because we want to have it in a straight line, and I have to look for this way and over here, and I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and this, and again over here, and I'm going to let this dry. So we have the top. Now we're going to place it upside down, and we're going to place it over here, and now we're going to do some glue on here, and we're going to do the underside. So very easy. Do some glue over the sides, and we're going to place it also in the middle, and this way, and look for that you have a straight line and give it some pressure. And we're going to let this dry also. And you see already the base of the lantern is finished. What we need of course a handle. We're going to get 3 blocks. We are going to place them this way, but if I would do that, of course it would be a little too wide. So I need the size of the side of my block. That's one I need to cut off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this way on top of here. Make sure that you have a straight line this way. Get your marker and of course make a little line. And you see already this is only the piece which we have to cut off. You can do it with a jigsaw, but you also can do it with your hand. So it's only a little piece. So only the thickness of the side of your blocks is over here. So we only need a little piece off. Now we did cut it off. We are going to lay it them beside, and we're going to do some glue on this side and on this side. And we're going to place them against each other, and also of course this one, and we make sure that we have a nice straight line before we're going to let this dry in this way. So we're going to lay it on the side, and we're going to do a little drop of glue, and in my case a drop is always a little bit more, but but I'm going to do my best, and a drop over here, and we're going to place it on top. And then you still can redo it a little bit. So I'm going to place it over here and make sure that we have it in a nice straight line, and this way. And we're going to squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Squeeze it and press it down. And we're going to let this dry in for a couple of hours. For our next easy lantern, we are going to take again 5 blocks this way, and we're going to do some glue on the side and on this side, and place them together. And number 3, number 4, and of course number 5 is the closure up. Squeeze it and press them together this way, and again look for that you get a nice straight line and place them down. You see already this one is also a little bit damaged, this block, but like I said, you get them in each package. So again we take 5 blocks again, and we're going to do the same. Number 2, number 3, number 4, and the 5 will be the closure up. And again squeeze it, press them together, and this way we're going to get of course our wet towel, and we're going to wipe away the glue we don't need. We're going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes. We gave it a couple of minutes. We are going to do some glue on the side because this will be the bottom, and over here, and we're going to place it carefully down because they still can fall off, and squeeze them lightly together. And now you already have the bottom. Here you see already the bottom for the bigger blocks, and he is drying. For the smaller blocks you make 3 rows of 7. So this is 7 blocks, 7 blocks, 7 blocks, and you glue them together this way, and you have your own bottom already. Now we are going to make pieces of 2 first, so very easy on the tops, and squeeze them together this way. And we're going to do this 8 times because we need 8 pieces of 2. And you see already I have here a little bug. Yeah, I don't know if you call it in English. Here in the Netherlands we call it vliegje, but I don't know how you call it in English. So, but now you also learn a little bit of the Dutch, vliegje. So this is a number 4, and the rest I will do a little bit faster. And again, squeeze it, press it down, and this is 4, and I'm going to make 8. You see here we have our 8 pieces of 2, and now we're going to do 8 pieces of 3. And it's also very easy. You just do the tops, and you do this one on the top, and you're going to roll them together this way, squeeze it, press them down, and make a nice straight line like this. And this is already number 1. I do the rest a little bit faster. So we have our 8 pieces of 3, our 8 pieces of 2, and of course our bottom we will use later. What we're going to do, we're going to take a piece of 2, and we're going to take 2 pieces of 3, and that's why you see already why we need 8, because we need 4 sides on our lantern. So it's very easy. We are going to glue these 2 together, but before we're going to do that, we also measure out that we have it a little bit in the same direction. So we are going to do this way and this way. So we get a nice, it's not a square, it's een rechthoek. We call it a rechthoek. So I hope you also learn a little bit of Dutch. So again, some on the top. And on this side, on the side, oh, you see already, he was not totally dry. And he is not ready to glue yet. So I have to glue a little extra. Of course, we're going to do it this way. And that's what you do it if you don't wait too long for when it is dried up. So this is already 1. Now I hope this one stays in each other. So this is 1. And I'm going to do the other one this way. We're going to lay it down and do it on top of here, and we're going to make also this one fitting for over here and this, and we're going to give it a little bit time for drying in this way. And I'm going to give it, I think a couple of minutes is enough. And I also, you saw already, if it is not totally dried up, everything can fall apart, but you can still do it so easy. That's the great thing about if you just use the wood glue. But with hot glue, it's a little bit more difficult because it dries much faster. So I always use this one. So you see, I did let it dry in for a couple of minutes. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take some loose blocks, and I'm just going to fill in my pattern I want. But if you want to do it double up this way, and you want to do double up this way, it's maybe 2 over here. It's also fine too. You can fill it in any way you like. You can go for place them straight up, and you do straight up over here, or straight of this line over here, not straight up of course, or maybe this way, and you just leave them over here, or you can do one on this side or one on this side, and just make your own pattern you like. You can do anything you like. I chose for, I think I even like this one, but I'm going to go for filling it in this way on this one and this one and this one. So I'm going to get a little bit of a closed, and only on the, here is peeping out the light, but of course you can do anything you like. So I think I'm going for this pattern. But of course, each panel you can do different. You can do the front and the back side the same like this. You can do the sides a little bit different. You can go all the way. That's the great thing about making lanterns. You can go as crazy as you like. So mine will be very simple. I'm just going to do on the sides some glue, and I'm just going to fill it in. It's very easy, and just squeeze it in the corner. And we're going to do for this part, and this part only needs the top, one of the tops, and a little piece on the sides over here, so it can stick together. And this way we're going to squeeze it and press it down this way. And this way we're going to do again on the top, on one of the tops over here, and a little under here, not the whole block. And we're going to fill it in. And this, like I said, and even I can go further with this one if I want to do it this way. You can do it over here, and maybe then even fill this one in. I will look if this looks okay or not. We will see. But you see, this is not fitting. So this one will not work. So yeah, I will have to look. Maybe you can do. I have to look. Maybe one block in the middle. Is that possible? I think even one block is a little bit too big. See, this would also will be, if you cut off a little piece, you still can do this one. But I'm going to go further with this one over here and a little piece over here. And I'm going to squeeze it in again and squeeze on this side. Remove the glue. And I'm going to go. I'm still looking for if I can make the pattern a little bit different, because I have now 4 over here and 4 over here. I think I'm going for this one. I'm going to start on this one. So I'm going to get this one, do some glue on this side. And this you can still play with it, even when I'm just an amateur and also finding out things what I like and I don't like. And you still can redo it anytime you like. And you see some blocks over here. But don't mind me, because some people think I'm a little bit talking too much. So maybe I will keep my ideas, but you can do anything you like. So this way, squeeze it. And I'm going to do the last two a little over here. But I know a lot of you don't mind if I talk too much, because I always love explaining to you what I make and how I make it. So sometimes I'm a little bit, I ramble a little bit, but don't mind me. So on the top and over here. And I'm going to place the last one in, and I'm going to keep it this way. I am really liking it the way it is looking right now. And I'm going to do all 4 panels the same. And you see, the first panel of our bigger blocks is drying. I'm going to do the number 2, 3 and 4, of course, faster. But before I'm going to do that, I'm going to tell you, when you're using the smaller Dollar Tree blocks, I would go for 2 doubles, 2 doubles, 2 doubles, and glue them together until this bottom. I would go for the sides, 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 2s, and again on top again 3, and here again 4 of the same like you do here. You just make a nice shape over here, and then you still can fill it in any way you like. You can fill it in with 2 this way over here and 2 on this side. You can fill it in any way you like, but this is the base for the smaller blocks, and you can fill it in this way. You see, I want to explain it so right for you, so that you don't have to worry about it if it will work or not. So I'm sorry for everyone who uses the bigger blocks, that it takes a little bit time for everyone who uses the smaller blocks. Of course, this way. We're going to place this over here. And this is the shape for the smaller block, and fill it in any way you like, and make 4 pieces of this one. And then you also can glue it on your bottom. So back to the bigger blocks, we are going to go again a little bit faster. We are going to make the shape and fill it in the same way. see already, I hope you're still with me and you are still not bored, bored with my talking. I have here, of course, my 4 panels of our lantern, our easy lantern. I'm going to let this dry a little bit further, but we are going to go further with our bottom because I think he needs a little bit more height. So I'm going to glue a couple of blocks under here. So, but it is, like I said, an easy lantern. So we are going to keep everything very easy. So I'm going to lay this 4 apart and I'm going to do the bottom. So we have here, of course, our bottom, and I'm going to get 4 loose blocks. What I'm going to do, I'm just doing some glue on the underside, over here, a little small line, and I'm going to place it, I think, yeah, half a centimeter of the line, and I'm going to try to keep it in the middle. I'm turning it over and I'm going to do this one on the same, but this one is easier because this one is 5 blocks and of course 3 blocks is 1 block. So it's very easy placing it over here. This one is so easy because you still always have it in the middle. This one again, we are going to measure out in our eyeballing it over here. I talk Dutch and English to each other. This is really not my day for for English, and it isn't even Monday. So you know, you must imagine how it is on Monday. So I'm going to do it and I'm going to place this one in the middle and then I show it you a little bit closer. And this is how it's looking like when you see it closer. And of course we're going to turn it over and then you see he has just a little feet, but you can do the feet any way you like, but I keep it simple so we can give it some pressure like this. But first what we're going to do our side panels, of course, on top of here from our lantern. So this gluing together is the same if you have the bigger blocks or the smaller blocks, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do some glue on the line over here, very small line. I'm going to do over here and I'm going to place first 1 panel on top this way and I'm going to place it straight up and make sure that we have a nice straight line and give it a little bit of pressure and keep it in place for a couple of seconds. Of course, I don't let you wait that long. So I take panel number 3 and I'm going to do some glue also on this side. And of course, look at your pattern, the pattern you made, if everything is comparing to each other because you have 4 sides. And I'm going to place this also on top and keep it in place for a couple of seconds again. Every time I say seconds, you know what I mean. Of course, minutes. It's not too long because if it's still the glue is wet, we still can redo it. So we wait a couple of minutes, but not too long, and give it a little bit of pressure. And now we're going to do some glue on this side, and then we do the last panel on top. And of course, we don't must forget, of course, our bottom. We are going to do, now the glue is still wet, we are going to do the sides around the bottom over here. I hope you can still see it. And this way, because now we still can move the sides. But I always love when the sides are a little bit attached to each other. I don't know if this will go well or not, so we will see. And I have to look for that I get it squeezed in a little over here. And I'm going to place it over here. And we are going to fill it in and make sure that we have a nice line over here. And everything will stick together. And it is always, I think sometimes luck because your blocks are never the same. So don't worry if everything falls apart. Just start over again because the panels will stay intact if you left them enough time to dry. But sometimes this will fall apart. But don't worry, give yourself some grace because everyone is struggling. Even when you are a professional, you are struggling. So I think the professionals will struggle also. And this way, and I'm going to make sure that I pull the underside a little back because I see he's not straight. And now I'm going to let this dry in a couple of minutes. So now the last piece is very easy. We just do some glue over here. And we're going to make over here, and we're going to do this line. And we're going to give it a couple of minutes before we're going to place, of course, the last piece on top. And that we're going to dry in at least for a couple of hours. You see here already a little bit behind the scenes, I did some paint cans on top because I want to be sure that everything dries nicely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to give it a wooden handle, the same like I did with our other lantern, but you also can use a piece of rope, the length you like, do a knot inside and glue it on this side and glue the other one on the other side if you like that look better than a wood. Of course, I'm going to do for wood, I'm doing a little bit of glue on the underside and I'm going to place them together this way. And again, I'm going to do 2 pieces and also glue them together. And I think I'm going to leave my lantern in the neutral tone because I like the neutral tone in my house this year for Christmas. So that's why I'm not going to paint it and I'm going to keep it this way, but later I will give some sanding around it because I want to be sure that the wood glue, the coloring is gone. So always when you use wood glue, it's always a little bit of coloring your wood. And I give it a sanding with some sanding paper. I give it some sanding and then it looks much better. I'm going to let this dry in. Now I'm going to do it very easy. I'm just do some glue on the top over here and I'm going to place it against this one and I'm going to do some glue on this top. And you can do also a little bit lower if you don't want to have it this height, but I like a little bit higher. So I'm going to squeeze it and let this rest for a couple of minutes also. Of course, if you have the smaller blocks, you have to do 3 wide and then as long as you want to have it, but you have to do 3 wide and I would double this up also because the rest of the lantern, when you use the smaller blocks, you also double it up. So I would go for 3 and again on top also 3 and then do the measuring you want down. And here you see, because it didn't give me a good feeling that I just told you how to make it from the smaller blocks, because a lot of you are a little bit maybe confused, how do I do it? And I don't want to that anyone feels not helped, because I love to help everyone and that you can make your own lantern. For the smaller blocks, you just do 2 pieces of glue together this way and you make 3 of them and you place them straight up. You can do 3 wide because your lantern is also 3 wide, so you need 3 wide and then you can make it as long as you want. I would go for this handle, but you can even make it a little bit shorter and then you do 2, but I would go for this one. So now everyone is this for the smaller and this is for the bigger, because I don't want that anyone feels left out. So this is, I hope, every measurement I need. I only need to glue this one on top. So I'm going to place the handle this way. I'm going to do some glue on the tops over here and a little bit over here, because we want to be sure that it doesn't fall off. And we're going to place it, of course, in the middle over here, and I'm going to look for that I have it in a straight line, and I'm going to give it some pressure and I'm going to let this dry in overnight, and you see in a moment the quick impression of both of our beginners lanterns. And here you see a quick impression of our Tumbling Tower Blocks beginners lanterns, and I'm so happy finally how both of them turned out. Of course, it's a bigger one and it's a smaller one, and even when you use the smaller blocks you have different sizes. I am really happy how these two turned out. Of course, I hope you took out the Tumbling Tower Blocks too and did this DIY together with me, because he is so easy to make. If you're just here for watching, of course I hope you had fun watching, and if you're not subscribed to my channel, of course I hope you will click the red subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It would help my channel a lot to grow. And of course, if you want to see more DIYs, come on over to my description box. There you find all the links for our DIY channels. Hope to see you there, and everyone have an amazing day and see you in our next project. Bye.